I'm Michelle with two L's, and I am one half of Force of Light Entertainment. Today, I'm here to give you my thoughts, my review on the new Jim Caviezel movie, The Sound of Freedom. Before we get started, if you like reviews, if you enjoy reactions, and you are not subscribed to Force of Light Entertainment, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and also give the video a thumbs up. But let's get into this review of Sound of Freedom. Many of you may not know of this movie. This was actually a Fox 20th Century movie, and it got lost in translation in the Disney when Disney purchased Fox. And Disney did not want to put this movie out. And I will say, I just got back from the theater. It was a packed theater. And when the movie finished, it was one of those movies everyone clapped for. A little different than Indiana Jones, I might have to say, that I recently saw. But okay, so what were my initial thoughts? For those of you who don't know, the way we do our reviews here is I give you my initial thoughts, what I liked, what I didn't like, and I rate this movie. And for those of you who do not know, this movie, I will say that this movie is based on a true story. I believe Jim Caviezel plays Tim Ballard, who was a Homeland Security agent who eventually quit his job 10 months away from getting his full retirement and pension because he wanted to pursue specifically these two kids that had been trafficked, and he wanted to be able to find them. So this story is definitely covers child trafficking, sex trafficking, and really I want to say at first, this is the first movie I've seen tackle such a very real, a brutal subject, really, since the movie Taken, which that obviously was very fictitious, but at least Taken did bring awareness. It was the first thing that caused me years ago to kind of become aware of this kind of behind closed scenes industry that goes on all around the world. So this movie brings awareness to that type of stuff. But what is my initial thoughts? My initial thoughts was it was a powerful movie. I mean, movies, when they are done well, they can provoke a lot of feeling, a lot of emotion, and also bring information, bring things to the forefront, bring things to our knowledge, and that we maybe are unaware of just going about our everyday life. And this movie, it did that. It was powerful. It's the type movie that's going to make you think. It's going to make you not be able to put your basically kind of just close your eyes and imagine these things aren't happening, but it's going to show you something that is very real in our society and around this world. So I use the word powerful for initial thoughts. What did I like about this movie? Well, for starters, I'm just going to say I did enjoy this movie quite a bit. I would say this movie, it's an Angel Studio production, which they did The Chosen, and I believe they were behind Jesus Revolution, but don't quote me on that just yet. I think so, though. But yet again, another excellent job. Very excellent movie, very well made. I enjoyed it. I will have to say I have been a fan of Jim Caviezel for many years. Obviously, his most famous role being The Passion of the Christ, but I've enjoyed him in other things as well, and he's excellent here. Really, all the acting in this movie is excellent. Even the children, because children sometimes can really kind of mess a movie up, and even the children did their jobs great in this movie. But really, it really is the story. I mean, this is a gripping story, and again, touching on something that's so real and so brutal. And that's what I want to kind of focus on, that I think they do an excellent job. Because dealing with such heavy material, you could easily show too much or not enough. And I feel that this movie did a good job of showing the audience just enough to disturb you and to make you, oh, I mean, want to cry, want to, whatever. It shows you just enough, but not too much. Because if you showed too much dealing with this subject matter, it would just genuinely be too much for the audience. And I think this movie does a great job of, again, kind of straddling the middle there and finding kind of a middle spot of showing the audience enough, but not too much of what this movie is dealing with. Because, I mean, again, the subject matter is brutal. There's no easy way to say it. It is horrifying. At times, because you're dealing with pedophilia, so I mean, it's just that's not a happy subject to deal with, and they do a great job of, in my personal opinion, of because you do have to show X amount. You've got to be able, again, to kind of strip away and let people see what's really going on. But again, if you showed too much, I don't think any of us could have handled it dealing with this subject. So excellent job on that front. And honestly, it's just one of those stories that it really is powerful. It's a true story that's being told. And you get very invested in him finding he's able to find the boy pretty early, but him, can he find this little girl? And those of you may already know the real story, know the outcome on that. But yeah, I just think it was a very powerful, very well done movie. And it does kind of beg the question, why is this the first movie since Taken that has been brave enough to shed light on something like this and a subject matter that is very relevant today? As they say at the end of the movie, there's some lines that go by, and at the end of the movie, Jim Caviezel does relay a message. But it brings out the point that there are more people today in slavery now than there were when slavery was legal. And again, Hollywood, if it's doing its job, should shed light on things that are important. And yet, why is this the first movie since Taken that's been willing to do that? Why, why is this a subject that this particular platform that I'm on doesn't really like us to talk about? This movie kind of begs to ask some questions that I think we need to ask as a society. And that's good. That means this movie did its job because, again, it's shedding light on something that needs light to be shown on. Um, so yeah, I think it did a great job. I enjoyed it. I recommend it. If I would say this is one of those movies, say like a Schindler's List. It's hard to watch at times, but it's powerful when you do watch it, and that's kind of how I'd say about this movie. I will say this, I think the first 30 minutes are the most brutal of the movie as far as what they're showing, and I mean, again, they have to when they're shining a light on the subject, and again, they don't show too much, just enough in my opinion. But it is a hard subject, but I would say the last hour and a half isn't quite as, hard to watch at moments. But, yeah, Jim Caviezel did excellent. The story was gripping, and again, a story I believe that needs to be told. So what do I rate this movie? Okay, so I said this a few minutes before. This movie kinda is like an indie movie. So that's kinda how I'm gonna base this off. This isn't some big blockbuster movie. It is a kind of an indie film type of movie. I wanna give this a f so based it on that, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 hoots rating out of 5, 4.5 out of 5. Is it a fun movie? No, because of the subject matter. But was it a very well done and needed to be done movie? Yes, I believe it was. And again, the acting was excellent. So I'm going to give it 4.5 hoots. I definitely recommend checking out The Sound of Freedom. Uh, Again, it's just something that needs to be told. And I will end it with what someone shouted out the end of my showing. Where's Epstein's client list? I'll leave it at that. But thank you for checking out this video. And if you have not yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also give the video a thumbs up and leave some comments down in the comment section. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, remember to be a force of light. All right. Bye, guys.